So you want to be successful, you want to be rich, or you just want to make changes to your life no matter what it is? There are three things that govern everything that you do. It's the how you're doing it, it's the what that you're doing, and it's the who you are while you're doing it. Now, generally, people work from this order: the what am I doing, how am I doing it, and who am I being. That is backwards. You got to work the opposite direction if you want success. If you want to be successful, you got to do things differently than what the majority of people are doing. Stop focusing on the what and the how, and first focus on the who you have to be. Once you change who you are, how you're being, the what and the how will naturally come, and it's going to be different, and it's going to give you different results than what you're currently getting. If you're focusing on changing the how you're doing something, or even the what it is that you're doing, but you're not changing the who, you are going to fail. And this is the reason why. Because like I said, you haven't changed who you are. You can learn how to do something in a different way, but unless you're changing who you are at a core identity, you're still going to have the same bad habits. You're still going to show up as you doing it, even though you have a different way of doing it. What I mean by this is your insecurities, your fears, your all of these negative things that are currently tied up in your current identity that are holding you back from success. These are going to keep coming up. Doesn't matter how many different ways you try to do something, how many different things you try to do, unless you change who you are first, this is going to come up. You need to change who you are, your identity. Someone who is masculine, who is confident, who is strong, who's smart, who is capable, who is achievable. Once you change this, then it doesn't matter what it is you're doing. You're coming from this new place that you're working from. You're going to be successful, because even if something is hard, you're coming from this new identity of someone who perseveres, who endures the hardships, who likes the hardships because they see it as a challenge, as a problem that needs to be solved. And that's when things start to change. So again, don't worry about the what or the how. First, you got to change the who. Now, some of you may not agree with what I'm saying, or you simply don't understand. And I get it, because it's a hard concept to understand. As simple as it is, it takes time to fully comprehend it and truly understand it. So what I want to do is let's take a look at people that win the lottery, right? So these aren't millionaires. These are typically poor people. Rich people don't play the lottery because they don't need to. Generally, it's the poor people that are playing the lottery. So you get these poor people. That's their who, that's their mindset, that's their belief, that's who they are, is this poor person who won the lottery. So now they're winning 10, 20, 100, $200 million, sometimes even more. Generally, what happens to these people, 5 years or even sooner, they lose most or all of their money. And this happens like 90-something% of the time. So you have this lottery winner wins $100 million. You could be set for life. They lose everything. Why? Because it's not what they're doing. It's not how they're doing. It's who they are being. In their mind, they are still a poor person who just got lucky and happened to win the lottery. So because of that, the what and the how are different than what a rich person would be doing. Typically, these people will go out and they're going to spend all of their money. They're going to buy a big house. They're going to buy a fancy car, fancy clothes, buy lots of stuff for their friends, show off here, show off there. And before you know it, the money runs out. Why? Because they don't think about preserving the money, or more importantly, about growing the money. If you're someone who's rich, you didn't win the lottery, your number one priority would be, how do you grow the money? You're not going to spend. No, you're going to think accumulate. How am I going to accumulate more and more? Then once I accumulate more, then I can spend the money. That is the difference in the mindset of the being who you have to be between a rich person and a poor person. There's a reason why a rich person generally will always be rich, and a poor person will generally always be poor. You could take a fairly successful rich person, take away everything they've ever had, have them rebuild from the beginning, chances are they again are going to be successful. They are going to be rich. With the poor people, like the example with the lottery, it's the exact opposite. Generally, they lose it all. Why? Because they're not changing who they are. They're changing their circumstances, but they're not changing who they are. I'm going to give you another example here, and hopefully this might help you understand a little bit more what I'm talking about. Let's say you're an average, typical guy, not really great with women. You want to become great with women. You want to attract lots of women, just sleep with them, or get in a relationship, get married, have kids, have a family. Doesn't really matter. Let's say you're not great with women and you want to become great with women. Typically, like we said, people are going to work backwards. They're going to work on the how and the what. So what are the general population, the general male, what's he going to do? Probably go read a book, maybe take a seminar or a lecture or something like that on how to pick up women. They're probably going to learn one or two techniques that are proven to work that are going to help you get women. What generally happens? These guys go out, they try this technique, it doesn't fucking work. Why? Because they haven't changed who they are. Generally, if you're not great with women, you're not operating from a masculine core, you're not confident, you are missing a lot of attributes that attract women. So it doesn't matter if you learned a fucking technique on how to pick up women. Women pick up on that. They know it's just a technique. So let's say you go up to this girl, you try this technique, it's supposed to work, but you're operating from your old self, your old identity, your old who. You're probably not confident. You're probably stumbling on your words a little bit. You're probably feeling a little bit nervous. It comes off. Women see this, and therefore you're not successful. Even if somehow, let's say, the technique works, you are successful, what happens next? Do you get the girl's number? Do you go on a date? Do you get a second date? Does anything progress beyond that? No, because you haven't changed who you are. You just learned a fucking technique that works in one situation. Yeah, that might work in one situation, and oftentimes it may not even work then, but it doesn't change who you are. It doesn't change anything. Now, if you work backwards, work on who you are first. Work on developing a strong masculine core. Work on going to the gym, on your physical strength, on your confidence, on your abilities. Change who you are to a strong, confident male who naturally attracts women. You don't even need to do a course. You don't need to learn pickup lines, because the way you act, the how and the what naturally changes because you're now thinking from a different perspective. You're not thinking that I need to learn some course on how to pick up girls and learn this line. No, you realize it's about being your true self, about operating from a masculine core. Doesn't matter what you say to women, generally, it's more how you say it, how you present yourself, your body language. That's what matters. That's the stuff that changes subconsciously once you change who you are. And that is why it's important to work backwards. Don't worry about the how and the what you're doing in anything, whether it's women, money, trying to lose weight, get in shape, anything. Don't worry about the how and the what until you've changed the who. Because once you change who you are, your mindset, the way you think, you will see new opportunities that you wouldn't have taken with your old identity. And then how you actually do them, again, are going to change because you're acting from your new self, not your old, weak, insecure, non-confident self.